friends. Okay, so today's video is going to be part of our summer book club, and it's chapter 8. We are going to be going over Working Things Out, a balanced look at career issues and mothering. And so this is a collaboration with a bunch of other Catholic YouTubers. They are so awesome. Please definitely go check them out. They're down below. The videos have been awesome so far, and thank you so much. If you are collaborating with me, thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun having you guys join me on this journey. So today's video is all about pretty much if you have a career, balancing that with motherhood. And as many of you know, I am a stay-at-home mom. I stay at home with my children, and I love it. I've had quite a few people comment on my videos and tell me how judgmental I am because they think if you have a career that you're a bad mom or something like that, which I've never ever claimed that in one of my videos. So it's interesting what people come up with sometimes, and you're like, where did that come from, you know? But I think that just goes with the territory. I think they just assume because I'm a stay-at-home mom that I'm judgmental with people who have a career, and that's just not the case. I do not think bad thoughts of anyone who has a career. I know that we are all called to very different things, you know, and I think that maybe that hits on the judgmental stage of some people, just like with saying that about what I think, that some people are very judgmental as far as motherhood goes. Like what their vision of what motherhood is not good. So if you're judging somebody because you are a homeschool mom and you think you're better than somebody because other people don't homeschool, that is a red flag for pride. I just want to get that out there. Or same with if you don't work, you're a stay-at-home mom, but there's another mom who does work, like, and you think you're better than them or you're judging them, that is wrong. And I ask you to pray about that and just to stop, because motherhood is hard no matter what your career is, no matter what you do. If you're a stay-at-home mom, it's hard. If you have a career, I can only imagine that that's probably even harder. If you're a homeschooling mom, I can only imagine how hard that would be. Like, there's so many angles, you know, and it's just, I think a little bit of what I want to say today is just stop judging. You know, if you find yourself judging other moms and thinking you're better than them because you homeschool or you're a stay-at-home mom or you have a career, like, that is so wrong. That is not of God. That is not good. You need to stop. Everybody, God calls us all to very, very different things. There's Saint Gianna, who she was a doctor. Like, she was called to have a career. That was, you know, what God asked her of her, and she was a mother. And so, you know, so it's wrong to assume that one way for every woman is the right way for every woman. That's just wrong and not good and not holy. So if that is you, and I feel like you'll know if it is you or not, please stop, and please train yourself not to think that way. You know, just train yourself to think that everyone's doing the best they can, and all of that. So I'm just gonna leave that part there. The judgmental part, please stop if that is you, because we all have hard jobs no matter what we do. So if you do have a career, I can only imagine how hard that would be to balance. Like with my YouTube channel, that's probably the closest thing I've ever had to having a career within motherhood, and that is hard. Like, it's hard to balance. You know, I think it's the next video. I'm gonna talk about my time management. Like, what do I do to manage my time? Because a lot of people ask me all the time, like, how do you juggle having 4 kids and a YouTube channel and, you know, being a wife and all of these things? Like, how do you juggle them? And it's not easy, but I'm very particular with my time and where I spend my time. And so I'll talk about that kind of more in the next video. But I do want to touch on this chapter. I think that Lisa did a really good job with talking about how women are just so amazing. Like, we all are amazing. Like, we do balance so much. And, you know, we are called to this vocation. If you're a mother, like, we're called to this vocation of taking care of these little children and doing what's best for them. And I think that it's such an honor that God, you know, asks us to do that. And if you have a career and you know that that is God's will to have this career and have your children, like, that's a special calling of itself too. You know, I think it can be difficult. Like, and she talks about this where it's like, you know, what are the reasons that you have a career? Like, you know, there's a discernment process of, you know, do you have a career because you want worldly things, or you want the title, you want the recognition of, you know, having this, you know, this title, and, you know, people saying, oh wow, look at her, she's a doctor, or whatever it is. Or is this what God is calling you to do? Like, is this your calling in life? And with that, being humble and accepting, you know, that this is what God wants you to do. And I think she pointed those out, and they were just some really good things that she brought up that I guess I never really thought of, just because, like, I'm a stay-at-home mom. But I want to read them to you, just so, like, so you can just kind of listen and maybe take a step back and say, okay, God, is, you know, if you do have a career, is this what you want me to do? You know, and I think even if you're a stay-at-home mom or even a homeschooling mom, these questions could really, truly, honestly pertain to you as well. So, you know, no matter if you're one of those three, or, you know, something I'm not mentioning, then I think that it's good. Like, I think we should take these questions into prayer and ask God, like, what is your will for me? Like, am I living your will, or is this something that I want, you know? So I'm just going to read you the questions because I thought they were really good, and it made me think, and made me kind of wonder, you know, am I doing God's will? What are my motives of being a stay-at-home mom, of, you know, YouTube, of whatever it is? So, I'm just going to read them to you. Am I listening for the responding yes to God's unique call for my life? Do I place the needs of my husband and my children at the top of my priorities in my life? The next one is, am I offering the performance of each day's task and responsibilities as a prayer? The next one is, am I performing my vocation to the best of my abilities, with pride in my work, regardless of how insignificant or how unimportant the world at large may deem that work to be? I think that, you know, that reminds me of Saint Therese of the Little Flower, like doing small things with great love. Like, being a stay-at-home mom, I feel like that all the time. Like, you know, all the laundry, all the dishes, you know, day in, day out. It's like Groundhog Day around here sometimes, and it's like, okay, that's okay. This is my vocation right now, you know, taking care of all this. The next one is, do I perform my work with a joyful heart? Am I resentful, judgmental, overbearing, or uncaring in my service to others? I think that's huge. Like, just being joyful, accepting whatever it is that God's asking us to do, whether that is, you know, being a stay-at-home mom, or working, or, you know, being a homeschool mom. Like, you know, being joyful in that, like saying this is a gift, even though it's hard, it's a challenge. No matter what you do, if you're a mom, it's probably really hard. I love motherhood, but it is so hard. Okay, the next one is, do I carry out my work for self-servicing purpose? You know, are you doing your job because you want to do it, not necessarily because you prayed about it and this is God's will, or for public recognition? You know, you want people to say, oh wow, like, you have such a great important job, like you're worth something, or the pursuit of material possessions. So do you want to, you know, have a nicer car and that's why you have a job? Or, you know, or is this because God wants you to do it? I think that's something like to really take to prayer and ask yourself. I thought these questions were so good. Even for me, you know, I've had like job opportunities come up like within YouTube, and I have to definitely check myself, like, is this what God wants or is this what I want? You know, is it like our family needs financial help, or is it something that I want that recognition? You know, that's just, these are just things that have helped me, and so I'm hoping that they help you too if you're struggling with these things. There's one more question. Have I given thanks to God today through my actions and glorified Him through the fruit of my labor? And I think that's huge. No matter what kind of mother you are, like what, you know, if you are in a career, all of that, like, are you thanking God for that? Or if you're a stay-at-home mom, are you thanking God for that? Like, these are things that they might seem like not a big deal, but they really are. Whatever we have, whether we have a gift, whether we're a stay-at-home mom, whether we're homeschooling, these are gifts that God is calling us to. If we are in the will of God, then we need to be thankful, and there should be a peace there if we are in the will of God, knowing that, God, I just kind of a breath of fresh air. Like for me, I am a stay-at-home mom. That's what I've always wanted to do, and now I'm living it, you know, and it's a lot harder than I thought it would be, but it's something that I constantly thank God for. I constantly thank God that my husband does make enough money. I mean, things are tight sometimes, but it's such a beautiful blessing that I get to stay at home, and I need to thank God for that, because I know that in today's world, like, that is a luxury for a lot of people. A lot of women would love to stay at home and be with their children, but they just financially can't. And so, you know, I think that's the thing, is we're all on such different pages. We're all, God is asking different things from different people, and so so let's not judge each other in that. You know, if somebody has a career and that's God's will for them, let's cheer them on, you know, in that career, and help them if they need help and encourage them. And I can only imagine how hard that would be. I have two of my really good friends. They've been on my videos before, but they both want to get married someday. They want to have children. They want to live the vocation of a wife and a mother, but they also know they're called to be a doctor, you know, and stuff. So, and they're both very holy and wonderful women seeking out God's will and stuff. So I think the hard thing is discerning God's will, asking God, what do you want? You know, because sometimes it's hard to hear, you know, what are you asking of me to do, God? Is this for me, or is this, you know, to glorify myself to have this job, or is this glorifying you having this job, you know, or whatever it is. So anyway, I thought that was a very interesting chapter. I love those questions that I read off, and I just encourage you, if you do have a career, even if you don't, if you're a homeschool mom or stay-at-home mom, you know, whatever it is, like, always seek God's will first and foremost. And if you're following His will, you should have a peace, and you should have the grace that you need to move forward, to be a good mother, to be a good wife, all of those things. So definitely let me know, like, do you have a career? How do you balance it? You know, because like I said, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I can't necessarily relate in that way. I do have a YouTube channel. That's the closest that I have, but you know, maybe you have a career where you can stay at home. My sister works for Osborne Books, loves it, and so she can balance it all. Some people can do that, you know, and stuff, and I think that's great and wonderful. But if you do have a career, how do you balance it all? And how do you hear God's voice telling you, you know, that it's okay? Like, you know, was it crystal clear? Is it something you're still kind of discerning? Or, you know, I'm just curious. I want to know. And for the other viewers who do work, like, how do you do it? Like, we would love your words of wisdom on this. So please do share. Please check out the other Catholic YouTubers as well. I'm excited to hear what they have to say. And anyway, I hope this video helped. And until next time, I will see you all later. God bless. Bye.